is just not me. We have our other co-host, Bree Marie D, rocking the energy is about to shift shirt. Bree, how you feeling tonight?
Oh my God, I thought I'd never see the day, utter the words. Celtics are in the NBA Finals, especially after the start of the season we had. It's just, there's no words. Just the best day of my life.
Best day of your life. We're going to see, hopefully, the next best day of your life is when we hold the trophy. We'll see about that. And we also have co-hosts of the Celtics Reddit podcast over on a bunch of platforms, YouTube and obviously Reddit. But we have Ben Vallis joining us once again. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, like Bree said. Wasn't sure it was ever going to happen, at least with this squad. Now we're here, game one, starting in an hour. I can't wait. Guys, thanks so much for having me.
100%. Thanks for joining us as well. Ben is always great on this show. So we have a lot of cool stuff, and we're also going to test Ben's ability to understand maybe the game of basketball. Someone, a birdie, maybe no one, told me that Ben is really good at trivia. So I said, you know what? It's been a long time. I haven't done trivia in a couple weeks. It is now time for some trivia later in today's stream. We have about an hour. I think the game says to start at 9 o'clock. We always know they lie. They love their money, love the commercials.
But I just need to give myself credit for being able to sit here calmly, because if it wasn't for this show, I'd be like running up and down the street with excitement. Like I can't even contain myself. So just help reel me in here, because it's just unreal. I can't shush. Yeah, it's just wild.
And not to mention
all the Heat fans still talking shit. I just can't.
I like that.
I was like, you know what? Not today, Satan. We're on to the NBA Finals. You guys lost. Deal with it. And then I was like, you know what? They live in Florida.
That's a nice place.
Probably one of the dumbest states in the world. So I'm just going to let them talk to themselves in the comments. So,
well, Texas says hello. We will talk about that a little later. Shout out to Max Drews, who posted something today, maybe it was yesterday, about him not being, his foot was not on the line. Maybe it was on the line. We'll get to that because we'll see them next year. Now, what we will talk about is the last time the Celtics were in the NBA Finals, which was 2010. Last time they won, obviously, was 2008. I saw a lot of people on Twitter were talking about where they were the last time the Celtics won or in the NBA Finals in general. Ben, we can start with you. I don't know how old you are, but what were you doing in 2010 when they were last in the finals, competing against, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant?
2010, I was a young man, 23 years old, and the games are on in the middle of the day here. So I was actually stuck in a meeting watching the game through the Celtics website. Used to have like a game time live thing where you could join. It was Mark D'Amico running the chat. I was in this brutal 3-hour meeting and just watching that the lead that the Celtics had late in that game dwindle away, and everyone in the meeting wondering what the hell was wrong with me. I was internally having a mental breakdown watching the Celtics lose in the finals. That's where I was at. Feels like a lifetime ago.
Yes. And Bree, where were you 2010 last time Celtics were in the this championship?
I literally just had to take out my calculator to do the math to figure out how old I was.
I think 12 years.
Carry the one. I was 19. So I was a junior in college, I think. Yeah, because I was young for my grade. So I went to kindergarten when I was 4, went to college when I was 17. So yeah, I was eating ramen in my dorm room in between playing softball games. I was absolutely going to Celtics games whenever I could. And it just feels like a whole lifetime ago, to be honest with you. And I'm just so glad that, it doesn't matter how long it took us to get here. We're here and we earned it, and all the haters can hate, but you know what? It's fine. They hate us because they ain't us. And it's about the Warriors and the Celtics. I respect the Warriors. I respect Steph. May the best team win. I will respect the outcome, because I'm just so glad that they fought their asses off to get here, and they deserve that spotlight, and they deserve to be here. So no matter what happens, I know we were talking the last time, we were like, well, is it a disappointment if they don't win the Eastern Conference Finals? And obviously they won, so it's not a disappointment. But I said I still wouldn't have been disappointed, even if they did fall to the Heat, because of how far they came and all the things they overcame to get to where they are. And now we can say they made it to the finals. So just huge accomplishment. I'm just so glad I can say those words and that we can have this recorded and kept in a time capsule of history forever. And we can say, hey, this is what we were doing when they were going to the NBA Finals in 2022. So,
hell yeah.
I mess with
I'm
that.
excited. I'm crazy. I'm just so amped. I can't even stop talking.
So the people in chat, people were telling me where they were. He was 6 years old last time Celtics were in the finals. 12 years ago, I would have been Kyrie the 2. I would have been like 12 years old, if my math's correct. I can't remember I was born 98, 2010. So yeah, about 12 years old. The last time Celtics were in the NBA Finals. I'll be honest, I didn't watch basketball back then at all. So I think I got into basketball the last year Paul Pierce and KG were on the Celtics. So that's what, 2013, 2014. So around that time period is when I got into it. So it's cool to see your favorite team in the finals. I've seen a lot of LeBron James, a lot of Steph Curry. It's cool to actually support a squad here. Someone saying, bless birthday, Big Al. And then someone says his birthday's tomorrow. So happy early birthday to Al Horford. I think he got a lot of money. Shout out to him. But speaking of Al Horford and the starting lineup, we can get on to it. Now, again, brought to you by Prospect. Use promo code Celtics Corner. Link also in the description. Best fantasy game on the market. Smart, Brown. Bree shared with me Rob Williams also going to play. I also saw another report that Bree sent about he's not going to play a lot of big minutes. I think it was like 20 minutes they feel comfortable around. I think he only played 12 minutes, I believe, in Game 7 against the Heat. So we'll see what's going on with him. Al Horford and Tatum rounding out the front court for the Warriors. This is usually what they run with. I don't know what they're going to do. This is why Game 1 are so interesting, because they're going off what they did last series. I wouldn't be shocked if Looney doesn't play at all in the series. I'd be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if now Iguodala, who's coming back, Iguodala plays a lot of minutes and Looney doesn't play, or I don't know, Wiggins and Green play that 4 and 5 match. It's going to be very interesting. The Warriors are rocking Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. This is a freshman series. We can go matchup by matchup for the first time in a long time. Ben, your thoughts? Defensive Player of the Year, the greatest greatest shooting player of all time, second best point guard of all time. Ben, your thoughts on this point guard matchup?
Yeah, the D-Boy versus the O-Boy, I want to say. Not that we give that award out, but this is an all-time matchup, right? Marcus Smart, the defensive player of the year, going at Steph Curry. Obviously, Marcus Smart is going to be a key to this series in his ability to lock down Steph Curry. Obviously, they're going to run Steph off a lot of screens. There's going to be a lot of switches on the Celtics side of things. So we may not see, a whole lot of one-on-one matchups, but Marcus Smart, his ability to jump those screens, to jump in the passing lanes and disrupt a lot of the actions that the Warriors are trying to run to get shots for Steph Curry. I think that's where Marcus Smart is going to be crucial in this series. On the other end, Steph Curry obviously is going to have his work cut out for him. Even if he does get switched off of Marcus Smart, then you're looking down the barrel of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and you run down the list of our quality defenders. There's no real, mismatch to exploit there. So Curry's going to have his work cut out for him. But if anyone can do it, if anyone can win in those circumstances, it's Steph Curry. So we'll see.
Now, Ben, I had your co-host, I had Celtics Jay on, his ball of energy that he has, his passion.
Shout out Celtics Jay.
He might reach the Bree level, maybe just, I don't know if that does, but he's around the Bree level of fandom. But he said something yesterday, and he asked me, where can Curry attack the lineup? Kind of like you mentioned. I said, he can attack the bigs. That's Steph Curry, literally the second greatest point guard ever. And he's like, there's no way Al Horford and Robert Williams can guard up, and they're going to have help behind him. If Steph Curry is going to have 15 times in a game where Al Horford or Robert Williams is guarding him, I'm going to say more than often than not, Steph Curry is going to score. So I don't think we should rely on Robert Williams being able to hold his ground for a moment and not send help to Steph Curry's way. Your thoughts on that?
I think that it's going to come down to what screens we decide to switch. We played a lot of drop coverage against the Bucks and the Heat because they have a lesser suite of three-point shooters. That's not going to be the case with the Warriors. That, with the exception of Draymond and Looney, they're a pretty good three-point shooting team through and through. If we can not switch the screens, that would otherwise result in our bigs being matched up on Curry. I think that's going to put us in the ideal position to defend those coverages, those movements by the Warriors. And it also comes down to Rob Williams' health, right? That's been the case all playoffs. If Rob Williams is healthy and he's able to play in that sort of roamer spot, we've seen him get out on the perimeter and block guards shooting threes. We've seen him recover and trail back and block guards at the rim if they do blow by him. If Rob Williams is in any sort of position to maintain that level of physicality and athleticism, then it may be a short series in favor of the Celtics. But I think we all know there's a huge cloud, a dark cloud above Rob Williams' health. And if he is not going to be 100%, then that's going to be problematic. And like you said, it probably will be something that the Warriors try and exploit.
100%. And also, Smarter Mark, see you in the comment section. Prayers to you, man. Rips to your best friend. Next, Jaylen Brown and Klay Thompson. Again, Klay Thompson trying to get back to his old form. I think most people just like Klay Thompson's story. I don't think anyone would hate to see Klay Thompson win. I think Celtics fans and Warriors fans love Klay Thompson. But it's JB and Klay. I think this is going to be both defensive matchup. I think you see a lot of Jaylen on Klay and a lot of Klay on JB. Bree, your thoughts on this matchup? Who you have winning this?
I feel like it's pretty much even. When I look at this, I think more of like, what's the word? Like, they've been there before, so the veteranness. Like, you might see Jaylen maybe getting a little nervous of the spotlight, and maybe he, has those turnovers that we've been seeing, right, and all that. So I'm just worried about that, where Jaylen's headspace is. You'll know right off the bat what type of Jaylen we're going to get as soon as start the game. So that's my only concern there. And obviously Klay Thompson's been there before. He's a vet. He's obviously a champion. So I know the only thing that probably goes against or like is a negative for Klay is that obviously he's not 110% back to his normal self. But I want to just say one thing. Maybe I should just text everything I want to say to Ben, because we can all listen to Ben talk all day with that accent. I'm like, yeah, everything you're saying. Yes. I don't even I just lost my train of thought. I'm like, yep, everything he's saying, copy and paste. But I liked what he said about the 3-point shooting, right? I honestly feel like we're going to just watch them dribble, pull up. They're all going to it's a battle of the 3-point shot. You already know the Celtics live and die by the 3, and the Splash Bros, that's what they do. So it's just going to be weird. I think it's obviously going to be more of a defensive battle. Who can guard better is probably going to win tonight, because everyone's game plan is going to be, let's shoot a 3 and see if it goes in. So whoever's shooting better 3-point percentage is probably going to win this game.
That, I believe, is definitely key to the game. Also, we'll talk about key to the game later, because there's another one that's very important.
Sorry, I jump ahead. I'm off script.
Oh, no, there is no script. We're always free flowing here. Tatum and Andrew Wiggins. Now, again, a lot of people remember Andrew Wiggins. They call him the bust. He was, I think, he was a starter on the All-Star team this year. Guarded Luka, probably the best you could. Now, again, Luka got his great numbers, but you want to talk about a guy guarding someone 94 feet. Very impressive. Now, will Andrew guard Tatum that way? Probably not. Rethinking it. Tatum doesn't bring the ball up the floor that often, where Luka does pretty much every possession. Ben, your thoughts on Wiggins and Tatum? Pretty identical players if you think of not skills. I would say low skill set, but definitely their makeup of, Wiggins being that 6'8", 6'9" guy, very athletic, can guard all positions. Your thoughts on this Tatum and Wiggins matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I think their identical qualities begin and end with their physical makeup. They're both athletic, 6'8"-ish guys. Tatum is through and through like a superior player in all facets of the game. And as far as a one-on-one matchup, and this goes for all matchups, again, there's going to be so much switching that we may not see a lot of one-on-one defense between Wiggins and Tatum. The whole offense is going to run through Tatum for the most part, as we've seen through all of the other series so far in the playoffs. There's going to be a lot of actions, whether it's Tatum as the ball handler running a pick and roll and either dropping off to the short roller. Often we've seen some success with Marcus Smart on the short roll, and then either getting up a floater or dishing it out to the corner. Or we're going to see a horns set that the Celtics run consistently, which gets Tatum a lot of good looks out of that action as well. And in that process, Wiggins is going to be run off the ball a lot of the time. As far as a one-on-one matchup, I have total confidence that Tatum can get by Wiggins, exploit Wiggins. While Wiggins is, he's part of this championship pedigree team. He doesn't have that championship pedigree himself, and I've got a lot of confidence in Tatum's ability to get him in foul trouble. To get him going one way while Tatum goes the other. I think it's a matchup that absolutely favors Jason Tatum in all ways.
Wow.
Yeah, finally Wiggins became something. Like when he was coming out of the draft, he was somebody that everyone was like eyeing, and then he did it like nothing. Now he finally found a home where he can succeed, so that's great. I'm glad that he's actually becoming the person they all thought he was. It's 100%. Great to see his success on the Warriors, but Tatum is blowing that kid out of the water tonight.
Absolutely
blowing him out of the water. 40 pieces for Tatum. Let's go.
Now, Ben said a great point, and I'll get to your donation really quick, man. But you mentioned a great point about there's not going to be a lot of one-on-one matches. We're not going to see Smart on Curry every single possession. We're not going to see Tatum and Wiggins every possession. But this exploiting, I don't know. I don't know if we saw Luke is a great player. He's a great offensive player, gets to his spots. Even though it's very slow, he gets to his spots. Wiggins was making him not get to his spots very well. Now you say, all right, we'll take someone who's a little more athletic, maybe a little quicker in Tatum offensively. Maybe Wiggins does not play that good of defense. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting tonight to see. Voodoo Customs, appreciate the $5 donation. The C's need to attack the paint. Don't settle for threes. Draw the foul and get them in foul trouble. I like this point. Very good key to the game, which, again, people jump in the script, actually. I'm still Bree's terminology. People jump in the script. What is this? Wiggs has resurrected. Credit to the Dubs for bringing him back. Yes, 100%.
Definitely.
That's a great point.
Sure.
Yes. Thank God.
Bruno Gomes, maybe. To win championship is defense. I think we have a better defensive team. Even I asked B Smooth before he told us the Celtics have no chance to win the final. What changed your mind now? Well, I love this quote. My science teacher told me this all the time. With new information becomes new opinions. So as things change in life, I can change my opinion as things go on. That's what I'll say. Now, again, let's continue on. Fair weather fan. Oh, I love that terminology. Again, we have a long show. We can get to Bree's comments later. Now, boom. For the front court, Rob Williams, Al Horford. I think Daniel Tice will play a little more in this series. Not a little, a lot more in this series. Against the Warriors, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, throw in Iguodala there, throw in Otto Porter Jr. there. A lot of those players that can stretch the floor. Iguodala more of a playmaker nowadays. Bree, your thoughts on the front court? Who are you taking, the Celtics front court or the Warriors front court?
Obviously, the Celtics. Al Horford is living off a high. He just got $5 million. He earned that money, every single penny he earned. And obviously, like they said, it's his birthday tomorrow. That's all he wanted, as Anna Horford said, is all he wanted to do was be able to celebrate his birthday in the finals. So I guarantee you we're going to see a very young 35-year-old Al Horford just going to town tonight and in this whole series. Rob Will, I think he's just going to live off of that limelight, right? Like, imagine, he's starting in the NBA finals, and he was on the bench a year ago? Like, come on, like, just being in that type of, like, atmosphere with all your teammates, and obviously the vibes are immaculate. Team chemistry is on 1,000, and you even got Deuce, the mascot, just leading the charge and stealing Grant Williams' Batman umbrella. Like, everything about my team right now is just, there's no stopping them but themselves. And I just hope they don't fall back to those bad habits, lessen the turnovers, hit your free throws, and don't get in foul trouble. So those are the only things. Those are my key points. Sorry, I'm flipping the script, jumping ahead, whatever.
Always,
always, you know the vibes. There's no rules in the NBA finals. We here. It is what it is. But that's the only thing that stresses me out is, Marcus Smart shooting the ball too much in game 7 at the end there, like going back to his old ways, old habits, they die hard, right? So if we can just focus on, the new Celtics and not fall back into those bad habits, old ways, and they stay like foot to the pedal to the metal, foot down on the gas for the whole 48. And like, if they have a lead, keep that lead, maintain that lead. I know it's a game of runs, right? And of course, if Steph and Clay get hot from the 3, watch out, but you got to be able to counteract that and diffuse that and just stay level-headed and not worry too much about the stage of it being an NBA Finals. And 0 of the team has been to the NBA Finals. And then if you look at it on the other coin, the Warriors have 123 appearances amongst their team for NBA Finals. So yes, the Celtics are the underdogs, but we love a fight. It's going to be a dog fight.
Now, interesting. I like the terminology. Now, again, I think according to Vegas, not huge on it. I think it's a plus 150 to Golden State. So again, put your money in it tonight as well. A couple cool comments. Ray Henson, maybe. Marcus Smart is going to shut down Steph Curry. I call it. Now, my question is, what is shutting down? If Curry goes 1 of 10 for 3, I'm going to guess he just missed a lot of shots. Next game, he'll go 10 of 15 from 3. That's just who Steph Curry is. I don't know about shut down Steph Curry. I don't know about that one. Rico Suave asks, what do you think the biggest run this game would be?
Maybe 15 points. I think it's going to be broken out like that, but then they'll kind of cut it. If it goes above 15, might be too little too late at that point. Obviously, we saw for like if the Warriors, because then it's a home game, it's game 1, they want to set the tone. If they go on like a 15, like if they're up 15 and they go a little further than that, it also depends on what quarter we're in, all that, but the logistics of that. But Celtics had a 17-point lead, right, on the Heat, and then it dwindled down to almost 4-2. I don't know. I was working. I wasn't able to watch the whole game. From what I gathered, we had a significant lead in the first half, lost it towards the end there. It's all a matter of if they can, rise above the challenge, right? Or rise to the challenge. If it's getting blown out and you see no fight and they gave up, then it's over. But I think 15 is a reasonable number because a couple quick threes, you're back down to 10. A couple another quick threes, you're back to single digits. If it gets 20 or more, it might be game over. Let's see a game 2 type vibes.
I agree. And Bree always going into some of my keys to the game. And again, speaking of keys to the game, brought to you by SeatGeek. Use promo code BSmooth at checkout. Keys to the game, nothing easy for Golden State shooters. There are obviously guys like Green and Looney that can't shoot the ball. Iguodala when he plays tonight. Gary Payton Jr., shout out to him coming back from injury. Those guys aren't great shooters, but you'll let those guys shoot. If I see Klay Thompson having wide open transition threes, something bad happened. Same with Jordan Poole and Wiggins and Kuminga when he plays, and obviously Steph Curry. Nothing should be easy from the three-point line. Cannot turn the ball over. If we turn the ball over like we did against Miami Heat in game 1 and game 3, we're losing by 40. This team is going to hit a lot of threes over and over and over. You cannot let them get out. They're going to showboat at home. You will see a lot of shimmying if we turn the ball over and stop blowing leads. Bree mentioned that we had a 15-point lead in the second quarter of game 7. It was down to 6 at half. And then we had another 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. It got down to 1, which ends up Butler to go take a lead with a 3. So we cannot blow leads. Golden State's actually really good at keeping leads. Obviously, that's what they do. When they go up by 20, it probably doesn't get less than 10. So you cannot let them get out to a big lead. And also, you need to keep a big lead because obviously they have amazing shooters. Ben, any keys to the game that you have? Is there a player you're looking at that needs to show up? Is there a guy you think has been struggling that needs to play better in this series?
Well, first of all, I think you absolutely nailed it with the cannot turn the ball over key to the game there. But I think that's probably going to be the key to the series for both teams. Both defenses are so good. I think the Warriors had the top 1 or 2 defense in the first half of the season. Celtics had the top defense in the second half of the season. If you turn the ball over and allow these teams to get out in transition and score easily, then and that also feeds back to that discussion about the largest run as well. The team that commits the most turnovers in the smallest amount of time, is going to give up the biggest run. So controlling the ball, and then on our defensive side, jumping in those passing lanes and forcing turnovers and getting transition points is going to be the key to the series for both teams, absolutely. But I also think Jason Tatum, like we know the playbook with Jason Tatum, right? And someone said it in the comments here as well. It's draw 2, drive, kick to the open man. That recipient of the ball they drive, they kick to the other open man, and just multiple attacks on one offensive possession. That's going to be the key. But I think beyond that, it's now the NBA Finals. We're now facing up against possibly the best defense we're going to see in all of the postseason. Jason Tatum needs to ascend to another level. Like, he just needs to be that guy. Like, it's winning time, right, for the championship. Like, Jason Tatum, if the double comes, along with playing his usual game and kicking the ball and finding the open man, he probably needs to be a little bit more aggressive and start looking to split those doubles, to spin out of them, and to create some of his own looks based on what the defense is throwing at him, and throw something back and maybe unexpected at the Warriors that they're not maybe anticipating.
I like that, Key. Before Bree goes, Ray says, Marcus Smart, you're way bigger than Steph Curry. Again, not by height, maybe probably by strength. Post his little ass up. Now, again, I love Marcus Smart. If I see Marcus Smart posting up every single possession, I'm going to hurt myself. There is no shot. That is not our offense. Play our offense. Tatum and Brown work. Smart, you can do your own thing a little later. Bree, your keys to the game. Any player you're looking at here?
No, your keys were great. I just don't want second chance points. I don't want turnovers, and I want us to hit our free throws. Obviously, avoid foul trouble. I feel like those are all just like key points to any game, really. What I do want to say is this. I saw a quote that Steph Curry posted, and he said, I have a lot to accomplish. I don't have any more to prove. That's the difference. So that is huge, right? That's his mindset, that he's already been there, already done that, already won things. Now, on the other side of it, the Celtics need to prove themselves. They have not been there, this team anyways, and they have not done that. So if Tatum can will himself and his team to be the better team and win in these 7 games, hopefully less than 7, but it might go 7 because clearly that's our lucky number 7. We've gone to 2 game 7s in 1. So I wouldn't put it past us to go to another game 7 and just have 7-7-7. We're talking about Vegas. Those are the numbers, right? If you pull that, whatever that machine is, I'm not a gambler. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, slot machine. Yes, one of those. So that's just kind of the vibes, I feel like. But Tatum needs to be that guy. And I think he can do it. I think it's whoever's going to want it more is going to win it, period. The end. Like we already said, they're evenly matched for the most part in defense, right? And then we already know it's going to be a shootout from the 3-point line. I would love it if Ime's like, yo, mix it up, go to the rim, rob lobs for days. They never fail. They never will fail. I don't know why we don't do 7 million of them in a game because they're amazing to watch and also undefeatable. Like he will do it every time. If I've watched Rob Lobs, maybe he's missed 1 out of like 60. He's amazing at that. So mix it up. They're not expecting that because they're expecting you to just pull up and fire off threes every 2 seconds. Drive to the paint. Get someone in the paint. That's important. That's going to be the key because you know that Steph and all them are going to be shooting threes like their lives depend on it because that's what they know how to do and they do it well. So we need to counteract that and do something different. Mix it up. You gotta just mix it up. You have to.
There's so many keys to this game and this series. And Ray Hansen had a good comment in the thread here, which I think you mentioned a moment ago, Bobby, about posting up Steph Curry with Marcus Smart. That's a legit strategy that we have used successfully in the past, particularly early in games to attempt to get Steph Curry in foul trouble. And like that's a good look for us. If we can position Smart on the block against Steph Curry, like he's going to back him down and he's going to get an opportunity to score or do the Marcus Smart grift and draw a foul that he does so well, sort of his own impression of Kyle Lowry. And then just more broadly speaking, the Warriors do have little guards in Steph Curry and Jordan Poole as well. We don't have those exploitable holes in our defense unless we're seeing Peyton Pritchard play a lot of minutes, which I'm not sure he will. So we're going to be able to go at these tiny guards, relatively speaking, in NBA terms, and get good looks, out of those attacks. So definitely a huge key to the game and to the series.
I feel like Pritchard will play because, again, it's a game of threes, right? And also, I don't think that if I'm really looking at the full team of the Warriors roster, they're not that big either. I feel like they don't really have that much size. Unless I'm like off on that, but I think that Pritchard could hold his own. I know that he's a short guy, but I feel will come in clutch and in handy when we're trying to fire off threes and play the 3-ball game, which I know it's going to be inevitable that they do that. I know they're going to do that. So
we will need his shooting, and he plays off Tatum so well, and vice versa. And you're absolutely right, Brie. Like the Warriors are less physical than the Heat and the Bucks, and so there are going to be more opportunities to hide Peyton Pritchard defensively and still keep him out there for his offense. Udoka said before the game, or it's still before the game, but recently in his pre-game interview that Rob Williams' time on the court is going to be based on his performance individually and with the team. I think the same can be said for Peyton Pritchard. Put him out there. If they just start going at him relentlessly, it's going to be easy to make a determination. Okay, it's not worth it. Like we're not getting what we want out of Peyton Pritchard on the court, and then we may see less of him. But I think you're right. Like we'll give him a go to begin with.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because Ime has really had a short bench anyways. He only really rotated 7, maybe 8 players this whole playoff run, unless, they're throwing in the second stairs or garbage minutes or whatever it was. We did blow out the Heat 3 times. But anyways, so my point being, I'm wondering who he will insert and where. Like, is he going to just completely change his game plan because it's a different stage now, right? This is the ultimate stage. It's the NBA Finals. Is he going to go with something new, or is he going to stick with what he's been doing? It's kind of interesting. I wonder what he's going to do, honestly. It's interesting to think of.
And we will see. I think he probably goes 7 deep. I think 8 will be Daniel Tice. I'll see if he gets in the game or not. Ben talked about a short man. Again, he's short to NBA. He's not short to us. Obviously, he would tower over me and Steph Curry. However, we have a cool breakdown that Jax came up with. So shout out to the breakdown here. 27 points for Tatum, basically 7 boards, basically 6 assists, 1.2 steals, and shooting 37% from 3. Looking over at Curry, who especially in the first round, remember he came off the bench a lot of those series. 26 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, basically the same steal, basically the same three. Very, very identical between these two players here. I also believe this. If one of these teams wins, Warriors or Celtics, I really do believe one of these two guys will be Finals MVP. I don't know if anyone on the screen disagrees with that.
I love how you just said if one of these two teams wins. That's what's going to happen.
One of these
one of them might win.
I don't know why.
If one of them wins.
But
one of these
teams will win. And we'll see one of these guys, I believe, being Finals MVP. I saw some people saying maybe JB could win it. No. For the Warriors, I don't see anything else happening. But do y'all think JB could compete with these two guys winning Finals MVP, or is it Tatum or Curry and they have to play well for the team's success?
No, it's definitely one of these two. It would be stupid if it wasn't. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. They're both the face of their franchises, and their work speaks for themselves. Not that I have anything like I love JB and he's great, but he's just not obviously at that same level as Tatum. So I don't see him beating out Tatum to get the Finals MVP. I just don't see it. Prove me wrong. I would love for both of them to be firing at all cylinders and putting up 30 and 40 pieces a piece a night. That'd be great. But I don't see that happening. It has to be Tatum and for the Celtics, and it will definitely be Steph for the Warriors.
Yeah. First of all, 30 minutes before tip-off. I'm starting to get a little nervous here, guys.
Yeah, so I'm sweating. I'm looking at the clock like I'm running up my stairs and locking myself in a room and screaming at the TV for the next however many hours this game goes.
I do think that Jaylen Brown, it's not a hot take, is the second most likely Finals MVP. There's certainly an avenue for Jaylen Brown to dominate. We keep going back to this. There's more exploitable matchups for the Jays, for both of them in this series. And with all of the attention that Jason Tatum attracts with his play style, Jaylen Brown's going to be in a really good position to dominate based off of that. He's going to be able to be fed the ball in some really advantageous positions and to score based on that. So if he executes based on the opportunities that Jason Tatum awards him, then there's absolutely a chance that JB will get the Finals MVP for sure.
I like it. Lennon asked me a question. Bobby, is Marcus Smart better than Golden State's third best player? So if you go Curry, I would say Curry, Poole, Draymond Green, shout out to Klay Thompson, but I would go in that order.
Ooh, you just totally disrespected Klay Thompson.
Now, again, that's how good their team is. I think Jordan Poole's better than him now, but Klay is their fourth best player, and he's still very, very good. Is Marcus Smart better than Draymond Green?
Yes.
I'd say Draymond's probably more valuable to his team. As you saw last year, or was it last year or a couple years ago, when Draymond didn't play for them, the whole offense looked very, very rough. They were just trying random guys trying to come in and play the Draymond Green role, and it didn't work. Draymond Green is a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. He can average 7 assists on a season, multiple-time All-Star. Skill set, obviously, I'm not talking about skill. We're talking about value to a team. I would take Draymond Green's value over Smart's value. Ben, I heard a little, sound there. You disagreeing here?
I'm just watching Celtics Jay in the chat now. He's absolutely.
I've learned how to watch the chat now, which is so bad for my ADHD. I should learn.
Yeah, it's very distracting, but I love all
very
the
distracting.
comments.
Everything is distracting right now. I have I literally diagnosed with ADHD in the 3rd grade, and any little thing that's distracting, I'm like, what was I saying? I have no idea. There's too much distractions. The fact that we're going to the NBA finals, they were in the NBA finals, and it starts in a half hour. I don't even know how you expect me to do a show right now.
Well, we're doing the show. The show's going on. The show is actually happening.
Willpower right now. Willpower.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brie. I feel like I need to be sprinting down the street right now, just working up all of this internal energy. It's crazy.
I can swim to Australia and come hang out with you. That's how much energy I have right now. It's wild.
No need. I'll be in Boston in 4 days, so I'll catch you then.
I'm so happy for you. That's dope.
Ben, go ahead.
Well, just quickly on the Marcus Smart, Draymond Green thing. I think it's 50-50. They both contribute, I think, an equal amount of value to their teams. Where Draymond has it over Marcus Smart and Celtics Jay, I'm sorry, is that he has, again, that championship pedigree. Draymond Green has been there time and time again. He's played with and succeeded with multiple different rosters. He's succeeded with and without Kevin Durant. He's had good stretches without Curry and with Klay as well. So Draymond Green has just been there so many times. And head to head, Smart and Draymond, I think Draymond pulls it out just based on that added experience alone.
I like that. I saw a comment somewhere there. Here it is. Modded fix, maybe. Curry, JT, Klay, Green, Brown, Horford, Wiggins, Smart. I believe you're ranking the players. I would have Klay way down. I don't know how you have Klay over Jaylen Brown. I'm sorry. I don't know how you have Draymond Green over Jaylen Brown. Horford over Wiggins,
he means
I don't
like
know about that one.
overall, not so much this year.
If you're doing overall, I guess I'm kind of cool with that.
That's maybe
I still don't like Horford over Wiggins, though.
That.
But I ain't mad at that. Celtics Jay said he is aging out of pride while Smart just started his. Okay, I think you meant prime. Okay,
Prime.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Is there a bigger waste of blank than Draymond Green? Well, he's a multiple-time champion, a multiple-time All-Star, All-NBA player, Defensive Player of the Year. So if that's a waste, let me waste some too. That's insane. I mean, he's going to have a very, very happy life. And also going to be on TNT when he retires. Celtics Jay and Bobby are effing great. Love the dynamic. Hey, Justin, I appreciate that as
Absolutely.
well. Now it is time, really quick, before we get into our game that we're going to play a couple of minutes. Again, shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks. The over-under game, again, you can use promo code Celtics Corner to sign up. They're going to instantly match your deposit up to 100%. So you put in 100, they'll give you another 100 to play with. Again, link also in the description to download the app, Play Store, or the Google Play Store. We have Steph Curry. This is 3.5 threes made. Obviously, for you to win some money, he has to go over that, which means he hit 4 threes. If you lose money, obviously, hit 3 threes or less. For Tatum, that is 26.5 points. If he scores 27, you win money. 26, you lose money. Ben, which of these bets you like more, Curry's threes or Jason Tatum overall points?
Curry threes just seems like the obvious one. Like it's hard to, I know that happens all the time, but it's just hard to imagine on the surface level Curry making less than 4 threes in a game. Whereas Tatum, I'd probably take the over on assists if that was an option. I know it's not as part of this promotion, but I think the line there was 4.5. And we talked about him playmaking out of those doubles and traps that he's absolutely going to see. And he's going to need to get assists for the Celtics to win based on those coverages. So I think that might diminish his scoring a little bit and keep him at around sort of 24, 25 points. So I'd take Curry on this one.
I like that. Bree, your thoughts, which one you would rock with?
I'll take both over. I was wondering, I was like, what is this 3.5? Because it definitely wasn't points. I was like, at first I was like, is it assists? Is it rebounds? But I didn't realize that they go that particular and it has to do with threes made. He's absolutely going to shoot. His attempts were probably going to be like ridiculous in the threes. And he's obviously going to make more than 3 or 4, whatever. I don't know.
At home, definitely. I give a lock for 4.
Yeah. But Tatum has to do 26 or more. Just it's going to happen. Yeah. Both of them over.
I like that. Boston Red, number 2, as I got to change the screen there. I don't like Draymond Green, but he's a beast. I take him on my TNA. I think there's a lot of players in the league like that. Marcus Smart's probably one of them that a lot of other team fans don't like, but they would love to have him. Patrick Beverley's another guy. Chris Paul is definitely a guy. Draymond Green, I think, fits that category as well. I think also LeBron, if you know, everyone wants LeBron. A lot of fans don't like LeBron.
I don't want LeBron.
If LeBron said, I want to come to Boston, we would be on our hands and knees for LeBron to come to Boston. Let's stop this. Let's come on. Now, it is actually time for a very fun game. Again, I haven't done a trivia game in a very long time, but I think it is time, and it's also fitting to do a NBA Finals trivia game brought to you by Prize Picks. Again, promo code Celtics Corner. Link in the description to download the app. Now, smooth choices. Ben, someone told me, maybe it was Celtics Jay, maybe it was a ghost, told me that you're pretty good at trivia games. You're pretty good at guessing or maybe knowing NBA trivia.
Well, first of all, great photo there, Bobby. Secondly, so that's a good one. I'm good at creating trivia games. I'm the host of the Celtics Reddit podcast, so I put together the trivia and I get other much more wise and intelligent people to answer the questions. So I love trivia. Am I any good at it? Absolutely not.
We'll tag team it. I suck at it. So
I'm going to need your help, Bree, for sure.
We'll see. We'll have Bree as a phone a friend. People in the comment section, go ahead and give me your answers down below. Now, this game is actually not predicting. You're going to answer it in the trivia question of who won Finals MVP in the year I'm asking the question. Now, it is multiple choice. Make it a little easier on the people in the building. Now, Ben, we have 7. I don't know why it says 10. We have 7. The Celtics beat the Lakers in 2008. Ooh, easy one. Which Celtics player won Finals MVP? There's your multiple choice answers. Ben, where are you going here?
It would have been really fun if it was Leon Poe, but pretty sure it was Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. Let's see if it was correct. It is Paul Pierce. Now, 1 out of 7. We'll see what's next. The Lakers beat the Pistons in 1988. I was not born yet. Which Celtics player was Finals MVP? Ben, your thoughts here?
The Lakers beat the Pistons in 1988. Which Celtics player won Finals MVP?
Oh my God, that is awful. I don't know who made this. Anyway.
Is this a trick question?
Which Laker player won Finals MVP? What kind of awful editing? There you go.
In 88, I mean, it's probably going to be, I think Kareem was a little too old at that point. So to me, it comes down to either Worthy or Magic Johnson. And then I think I've just got to take the more obvious choice and say Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. People in the chat putting in their answers. Let's see. It is actually Mr.
I should have looked at the chat.
James. Oh, look at the
people in the chat. Help me
cheating.
out.
People in the chat. Come on, y'all. Go away. Now, I think it does say Celtics player 1 finals. If you will ignore that, it does again. The Spurs beat the Heat in 2014. Which Spurs player won finals MVP that year? Duncan, Parker, Patty Mills, Kawhi. What's up?
That was Kawhi that year.
Kawhi Leonard. Let's see if he's correct. It is Kawhi Leonard. People said Parker. No. Again, 2014. That's a long time.
Parker
now the
great.
Pistons beat the Lakers in 2004. Which Pistons player won Finals MVP?
2004. I think it was Chauncey Billups. I want to say.
Interesting. I'm giving people in the chat a couple of seconds to put in their answers. No Ben Wallace. No Darko. Darko's pretty terrible. Darko, decent player. No one at all. It was Chauncey
Big Shot.
Billups. Big shot, Chauncey Billups. Next question, number 5. Which Celtics player? This is a Celtics player. Which Celtics player? Celtics beat the Rockets in 1986. Which Celtics player won Finals MVP?
Bree, any ideas?
Larry was my go-to guess on that, but I'm not
Larry
sure.
Bird.
86 Celtics are like a pretty famous team.
Could be
spearheaded by Larry Bird.
Not Cornbread, not Kevin McHale.
Oh, it might have been Cornbread Maxwell. Didn't he? Yeah.
I don't know. See, that's tough.
I was not alive. This is the first one that I haven't been alive for. That's how old I am.
Maybe Larry? I don't know. Larry!
It was either I want to hedge and say Cornbread Maxwell, but I'll say Larry Bird.
Yeah,
you're going to say Larry Bird. People in the comment section definitely putting in their answers. It was Larry Bird.
I wanted to change my mind.
It didn't work.
I was almost persuaded to change my mind.
I believe we have
one for one.
Maybe 2 more. The Bulls beat the Jazz in 1988. Which Bulls player won Finals MVP? Another easy one. Maybe Pippen, Jordan, Kukoc, or Mr. Rodman.
Well, it wasn't Kukoc, so I'm going to say Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. People in the chat putting in their answers. People said A. I don't know why you're going A. It is Mr. B and Michael Jordan for the answer. And we have one more. I think he's only missed one. I can't remember which one slipped him up, but only missed one so far. Let's see if this one messes up. The Heat beat the Mavs in 2006. Which Heat player won the Finals MVP?
Well, Dirk wasn't on the Heat. Neither was Jason Terry. Shaq, a little old at that point, integral to that championship win. But I'm going to go with the Flash in his 3rd year in the league, taking out the Finals MVP.
Wow, and it's interesting as people put in their answers. Okay, C, a lot of C's. Interesting. And someone said O'Neal. It is not O'Neal. It is Dwayne Wade. And it's very interesting as I picked this last person. And again, shout out to Ben with the amazing score. I think it was at 6 of 7. Shout out to Bree with the help as well.
Yeah, thanks,
interesting how I picked Dwayne Wade as the answer of this last question. As Ben mentioned, the 3rd-year player, top 5 pick in his draft. Could we see something very similar happen in this series? A young player lead his team with a couple old veterans, now Horford, and lead this squad to a championship. Ben, your thoughts? I haven't heard your prediction yet on the series. Celtics Warriors, who are you taking to win the series? And obviously Tatum, can you have that Dwayne Wade career path similar to him kicking off for the title?
Well, I think it's Grant Williams who's our sole player in his 3rd year on the team. So I'd love to see Grant Williams just will us and lead us to victory. That'd be the ultimate timeline. Tatum, I think, if the Celtics are going to win this series, and I think they're a really good chance to in 6 games, which is my official prediction, it's going to be Jason Tatum elevating himself to yet another level. I think, we've seen flashes of that level, but he can't get there and stay there consistently. He would know of all people that that's the level that he needs to get to and remain at for the Celtics to be successful. So absolutely, I do think that Jason Tatum can and very much will lead the Celtics to a victory in 6 games.
Bree, I haven't heard your prediction on this series yet. Bree, your thoughts, who wins and how many games?
I'm the worst at these because I always say Celtics in 6 or 7. I just said it earlier in the chat. I mean, in the broadcast. I can't even speak, guys. It's almost tip off. That I think it could go 7 because 7-7-7, 3-game 7s. I could see that happening. It's gonna go to the Celtics. Has to. I believe that's a Cinderella story. That's the way my fairy tale ends. I believe that's how this is gonna happen for us. It has to. Us, yes, me. I am on the team. If we win, I'm buying a duck boat and I will lead the charge for the parade. You don't even know. So, yes, if it goes 6, that'd be dope because then game 6 is at home and then you just celebrate on the streets and it'll just be a frenzy free for all, like wilding out party for the Celtics. But for some reason, they like to just do game 7s. And as you saw, They beat the Heat in Miami. So can they do it again in Golden State? Maybe. I mean, I know that the Celtics are really good on the road, and they're also really good for some reason. I know it's not called Oracle anymore. Everyone's going to be like, it's not called Oracle. Whatever. That's how old I am. I still call it Oracle. I know it's called Chase Center or something stupid like that. It's Oracle to me. And I said this before in one of our shows or in my show. I don't remember when I said it, but somebody changed the Wikipedia of the Oracle back in the day when it was Oracle, that the owners of the Oracle were the Boston Celtics because we would always beat them in Oracle. And I think we have a really good record against them in Golden State. So, or whatever, Oakland. So I could easily see them stealing a few on the road. So it is what it is. I think it's going to happen. That would be great. They're really good on the road, especially over there in Golden State. I don't know what it is. They just have the vibes over there. So let's steal one tonight. Let's set the tone and do it today, right now. 9 o'clock or 9:30, I bet it starts.
Hopefully it's not 9:30. Dear God, it's not 9:30.
It probably will because of the opening ceremonies. It's the first day, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure it is.
A lot of commercials, a lot of stupid ads, and they like to make their money. So we will live with that. Now we're going to round up here shortly, but I want to obviously give our predictions for this game and also read some of the people in the comment section. People used to make the world go round. Amazing name. Not much sense. But Celtics in 6, Jay with 2 40-point games, wins finals MVP. A lot of people, on the finals MVP for Jaylen Brown territory here. Very interesting.
I mean, I'm wearing his shirt.
And again, rocking the Juice merch as well. Smart over Klay Thompson. I wouldn't go that far. That's a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Starts at 8:15, so I guess you're living somewhere else. So 9:15. I like that. If it starts at 9:15, I will deal with that. Yes, sir. Knew he went on to coach. It's been a minute. Interesting. Boston in 6 or 7. JT out of body experience. This is the game. Any other cool comments? Just enjoy the moments. Finals don't come often unless you're a Warriors fan. That's a good point.
That's a backhand.
That is a good point.
That's a good point. I think for the Celtics, obviously, we've literally seen. Obviously a lot of my videos for the last 3 years have been Celtics haven't been to the finals since 2010, before when I was a little baby not watching basketball. It's going to be very interesting to see, can they keep up with this? We saw the Suns last year, where pretty much they were a young team with one veteran player in Chris Paul, get bounced in the second round the next year. We've seen a lot of young teams like the Raptors lose Kawhi Leonard, and that young team that was great with Lowry and Siakam and what's his name, Fred VanVleet, not even make the playoffs 2 years later. So it's been very rough to see these young teams not go involved. As Bree raised her hand. What's up?
Yeah, I raised my hand. You know what I wanted to also say? I also want the Celtics to win because I'm so sick of everyone saying, oh, you guys are a team of history. You guys haven't won something in so long, since 2008, blah, 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 this stuff. And I want it to be true what Rondo said, and now Coach Ime said the same thing. So Ime is aware of the culture. He's been fully briefed on what the Celtics culture is. And Rondo said it back in the day when there was that whole thing about they wanted to give Isaiah Thomas a tribute video. And then unfortunately it was going to be on Paul Pierce's retirement game. And so he kind of had to take a back seat to Paul Pierce, obviously, because he's the truth and the GOAT, and you cannot override anything that Paul Pierce wants to do. But I'm going off on a tangent. But the moral of the story was Rondo said, we don't hang Eastern Conference champions banners in the Garden. We don't have room for it. There's too many of them. We only hang championship banners. And Ime said the same thing. He said, we don't celebrate Eastern Conference Finals wins here. So he gets the culture. He gets what the game plan is. He gets that it's 4 more, and then you celebrate. And that's worth celebrating for. And that's the legacy of the Celtics. And now we just need to bring it back, bring it into this 21st century of, this generation. We need this generation to set the tone, to win a banner, to win a chip, so we can then be like, you know what? Shut all the haters up. Now we have something to prove. We're backing it up. We're backing up the talk with action. We won. Nothing more you can say about it. I'm so over it. Like, I'm over the haters. Just shh. Your time is over. It's our time now. And let's just enjoy it. It's our time now.
Let's win first before we say our time is now. Hold on.
We already accomplished one thing, right? We got the Eastern Conference. We won that. Time for the next step, which is the whole thing. Which is the whole thing.
growing up, obviously, I didn't grow up in Boston until, obviously I moved away when I was like 10 years old. When I came down here and I said I was a Celtics fan, a lot of people laughed at me. They said, Bobby, they haven't won since the plumbers and the janitors and the firemen retired. I was like, well, that's always funny. And again, it's hard to come back at that when we hadn't won. We had won one title since what? 90? Was it 86?
86.
It'll be 86. So one title. And my parents were born in the 60s. A lot of parents were born in the 70s. So to be fair, you could say in the last two generations we've won one title. So it's hard to come back and say,
you know what, swallow, because they're so much better than that, than what they've shown. Yeah.
And obviously we've had some bad luck, Len Bias, Reggie Lewis, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker getting, I think
Carson Edwards.
He left. Wait,
Carson Edwards, is that what you said?
That's an old.
That's a bad luck. He didn't turn out. It was meant to be great.
Tremont Waters and Taco Fall was supposed to be the legacy. I
love Taco Fall. Bring back Taco.
We're going to see, and also I want to end with this point and we're going to our predictions. I saw something really cool on Twitter. Someone was saying it was a picture of the Celtics and the Warriors and it said built, not bought, which again, I have no problem with players going where they want to go. I'm cool with that. But it's also cool to see both good GMs drafting their players and they grow up. Could we turn out to be the Warriors? Ben, that's a question for you. Golden State won their first finals in 2015 and then won 3 out of 5, I believe it was, or 4 out of 6. I don't know what it was. Ben, your thoughts? Could the Celtics this iteration be similar to Golden State in last decade?
Well, Golden State, the reason they've been such a successful dynasty is, first of all, they've drafted really well, which Danny Ainge and now Brad Stevens, hopefully, when he finally gets a pick and uses it, will.
Yeah.
Yes,
Coach Steph Curry, President Stevens.
Absolutely. Steph Curry is he's more than a generational player. Like, he changed the makeup of the league, and everyone plays offense and defense differently because of Steph Curry. Not only that, then Kevin Durant joined their team. So, obviously a dynasty is born out of those two things alone. And then you add the we call Derek White connective tissue. What better connective tissue than Draymond Green and another great 3-point shooter and defender in Klay Thompson to add to that? So that's the makeup of a, all-time dynasty. Are the Celtics at that level? As much as I would love to say that they are, they're probably not. Like, Jason Tatum is great, but we've seen that archetype before, in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, these sort of two-way players who are great, but they're nothing new, I guess. So Tatum, I think, would have to really elevate his game and show us. And we talked about the finals being a stage for that, so it could still happen. But a lot needs to happen for the Celtics still to be on that level that the Warriors have been on for the last few years.
I like that. Both teams in the finals builders. What's up?
Can we also just take a moment to wrap our brains around the fact that Coach Ime Udoka is a rookie head coach and look how far he's come?
That's
Can
amazing.
we just give
yeah, I'll clap to that.
Props to that, man. That's wild. That's
very similar to Golden State when Steve Kerr was a rookie head coach winning in his very first year. Again, a lot of similarities here. I'm not calling Tatum Steph Curry, but a lot of similarities here with the young team, build the team, a lot of drafted players. One guy that comes in, Iguodala came in, Al Horford came in to try to help and change a team. It is now time to make predictions for game one. Also, I have a link for Celtics Reddit podcast. They're going to be on playback.com or getplayback.com, and they're going to watch the game live. I don't know if Ben's going to be there with them.
God bless
but they are live and in prime time.
Yeah, thanks for the plug, Bobby. I am going to be there. I'm going to hop over onto that stream right when we're done here. And the game is on the screen. We're all on the screen watching the game as well, similar to this, but with the game on. It's a great hang. It's a good time. And come and suffer through game one with us. We'd love to see you there.
100% free. I'm going to drop the link whenever we're done here.
I'd be swearing the whole time.
So are we. So feel free to jump in, Bree. Come up on stage with us and we can swear our way through the whole game.
Ben, it is your turn. Go ahead. Who you got winning game one in I almost called it Oracle's Chase Center?
It is Oracle forever. I don't care.
Celtics, what do you got?
People are not going to like this, but we've lost game one of the last two series and then ended up winning in 7. I do think that this is the game we will lose and hopefully look to steal the next game. Obviously, we'll be looking to win this game, but there's a rest element, a health element that affects both teams differently, and that comes out in favor for the Warriors. I just don't think we've had enough time to really recover. And so I do think that game one will be the game that we drop. If I had to bet my life on it, obviously I want the Celtics to win. There's definitely a chance that they will win. But if they're going to lose one of these games, it's going to be game one. What do you think, Bree?
Totally agree with you. I don't see them sweeping the Warriors. That's not going to happen. I also said that about sweeping the net. I didn't think they'd sweep the net. So honestly, anything is possible. my boy KG, wherever that poster is. I have this behind me for a reason because literally anything is possible. This has been the wildest playoff run I've ever seen in my goddamn life. So honestly, I could say one thing and then the complete opposite will happen. So I have no idea. I totally agree with what you're saying, though. I believe if we are going to lose one game, it will be tonight because they are well rested. They've been here before. The limelight, the stage, the ultimate stage that the Celtics are on right now might get into their head a little bit, might be a little bit of added pressure. And like you just said, we are not ready. They've had 2.5 days of recovery after a grueling game 7 again, their second game 7. So, and like I said, they already went through Giannis and the football team of him that he plays, and they're all beaten up and bruised and hurt. So they didn't have enough time to recover. However, the positive here is that Rob Will and Smart, who were listed as questionable, are available and active tonight. So that makes me feel a little better. I would have felt a lot worse if Rob was like, nah, not playing. I'll see you Sunday. And same thing with Smart. So the fact that we're all active, not saying we're all healthy, but we're all cleared to play, good enough. Put a Band-Aid on the bruises and move on. I think they will drop this game. Unfortunately, I have to say it. So I would say Warriors. I feel like it's going to be high scoring because I feel like they're all going to just be 3 heavy tonight. I want to say Warriors like 127, Celtics 119. I'm not good at math. That sounded good in my head.
Can I hedge a little bit, Bobby, just very quickly? I know we're almost out of time. I'm not a religious or spiritual person in any way, but I do, for whatever reason, for the Celtics, feel like if I say they're going to win, then they'll lose. And so there's part of me in saying that they're going to lose this game actually puts them at a better chance to win the game. So
that's a good point. I had so much good luck today that I feel like it all was wasted on me, and now that it's not going to go towards the Celtics. So
yeah, I know exactly.
That's my mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like I had so much good luck happen to me today that I was like, oh fuck, it's not going to go to them, is it?
Awesome. I appreciate all the people in the building. A lot of people had Celtics in 6. I think it's the most common answer. I think I saw a couple Warriors fans go Warriors in 6. I like that as well. I also am going Warriors tonight. Again, I think that's a sweet. I think it's the first time ever on this show everyone picked the other team all at once. So again, very interesting. Maybe a little mojo going on, like Ben was speaking of. Maybe the team will win
reverse jinx from
our bad predictions. Maybe that's gonna happen. We'll see. I got Warriors 115-110, Celtics losing again. I think Jags will make a video post game. Maybe you'll see Bree. I don't know. I'm not positive. It won't be me because the game will end at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not gonna wake up. So I'm out of here, y'all. Peace out.
Depends
God bless.
My vibe.
Depends on the vibe. See if we win. Shout out to Ben, Celtics Better Podcast. Link is in the description. Also in the comment section right now. Go watch the game on getplayback.com with the Celtics Reddit crew. Shout out to Bree, obviously Bree Marie D on Instagram and Twitter. Your boy Real_B Swoop on Twitter. I'm out of here. God bless. Enjoy the game. And the game starting here shortly.
Celtics in 6 or
we'll see y'all.